Sort off yourself, you fat wanker. It's not my fault your kidney exploded. I know it's technically my fault, but no, it's still yours. Well, piss off then, you twat. Love you too. Oh, hail, Dig Seraph here, and The Art of War by Sun Tzu. I've already tried to film this video before, but I got called to do something. Laying plans. Sun Tzu said, the art of war is of vital importance to the state. It is a matter of life and death, a road of either to safety or to ruin. Hence it is a subject of inquiry which can no count be neglected. The art of war, then, is governed by 5 constant factors to be taken into account in one's deliberations when seeking to determine the conditions of attainment in the field. These are 1. The moral law, 2. Heaven, 3. Earth, 4. The commander, and 5. Method and discipline. The moral law causes people to be in complete accord of their ruler, so that they will follow him regardless of their lives, undismayed by any danger. Heaven signifies night and day, cold and heat, times and seasons. Earth compromises distances, great and small, danger and security, open ground with narrow passes, the chances of life and death. The commander stands for the virtues of wisdom, sincerity, benevolence, courage, and strictness. By method and discipline are to be understood by the marshalling of the army in its proper subdivisions, the graduations of mark among the officers, of rank among the officers, the maintenance of roads by which supplies may reach the army, and the control by the military commander. I have a knot by right on my neck. These 5 heads should be familiar to every general. He knows who wrote this. Jesus. Oh yeah. He who knows them will be victorious. Who knows them will not fall. Therefore, in your deliberations, when seeking to determine the military conditions, let them be made on the basis of comparison, in this wise. Which of the 2 sovereigns is imbued with the moral law? Which of the 2 generals has the most ability? With whom lie the advantages derived from heaven and earth? On which side is discipline most rigorously enforced? Which army is stronger? Which side of officers and men are highly trained? In which army is there a greater consistency both in reward and punishment? By means of these 7 considerations, I can forecast victory or defeat. The general that hearkens to my counsel and acts upon it will conquer. Let such a one be retained in command. The general that hearkens not to my counsel nor acts upon it will suffer defeat. Let such a one be dismissed. By heeding the profit of my counsel, avail yourself also of any helpful circumstances over and beyond the ordinary rules. According as circumstances are favorable, one should modify one's plans. All warfare is based on deception. Hence, when able to attack, we must seem unable. When we are using our forces, we must seem inactive. When we are near, we must make the enemy believe we are far away. When far away, we must make them believe that we are near. Fuck, this fucking itches. Hold out baits to entice the enemy, feign disorder and crush him. If he is secure, all points be prepared for him. If he is in superior strength, evade him. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. He's written awfully. He's just not having any hands on anything. If he is taking ease, give him no rest. If his forces are united, separate them. Attack him where he's unprepared. Appear where you're not expected. These military devices leading to victories must not be divulged beforehand. Now the general who wins a battle makes many calculations in his temple ere the battle fall. The general who loses the battle but makes few calculations beforehand, thus do many calculations lead to victory, and few calculations to defeat. How much more no calculations at all? It is by attention to this point that I can foresee who is likely to win or to lose. Chapter 2: Waging War. Sun Tzu said, "In operations of war, where there are in fields the field of 1,000 swift chariots, as many heavy chariots, and 100,000 mail-clad soldiers with provisions enough to carry them 1,000. The expenditure at home is at the front, including the entertainment of guests, small items such as glue, paint, some spent on chariots and armor, will reach the total of 1,000 ounces of silver per day. Such is the cost of raising an army of 100,000 men. When you engage in actual fighting, if victory is long in coming, then men's weapons will grow dull, and their ardor will be damped. If you lay siege to a town, you will exhaust your strength. Again, if the campaign is not protracted, the resources of the state will not be equal to the strain. Now, when your weapons are dulled, and your ardor damped, and your strength exhausted, and your treasure spent, other chieftains will spring and take advantage of your extremity. Then no man, however wise, will be able to avert the consequences that must ensue." My mic makes work. Thus, though we have heard a stupid haste in war, cleverness have never been seen associated with long delays. There is no instance of a country having benefited from prolonged warfare. It is only one who is thoroughly acquainted with the evils of war that can thoroughly understand the proper way of carrying it on. The skillful soldier does not raise a second levy, neither are his supply wagons loaded more than twice. Bring war material with you from home, but forage on the enemy. Thus the army will not have enough food for its needs. Property of the state in exchequer causes an enemy to be maintained by contributions from a distance. Contributing to maintain an army at distance causes people to be impoverished. No one's going to be watching the video this far in. We're 8 minutes in. No one's going to read. No one's going to listen to me read the art of war. Yeah. No one's gonna be this far in. What was I just saying? Twice and poverty of state. On the other hand, the proximity. When the substance is drained away, the peasantry will be afflicted by heavy exactions. With this loss of substance and exhaustion of strength, the homes of the people will be stripped bare, and three-tenths of their income will be dissipated. While government expenses for broken chariots, worn-out horses, breastplates and helmets, bows and arrows, spears and shields, protective mantles, draw oxen and heavy wagons will amount to 4/10 of its total revenue. Hence, a wild general makes a point of foraging on the enemy. One cartload of the enemy provisions is equivalent to 20 of one's own. And likewise, a single pickle of his provender is equivalent to 20 from one's own store. Now, in order to kill the enemy, our men must be roused to anger, that there may be advantage from defeating the enemy. They must have their rewards. Therefore, in chariot fighting, when 10 or more chariots have been taken, those should be rewarded to who took the first. Our own flags should be substituted for those of the enemy, and the chariots mingled mingled and used in conjunction with ours. The captured soldiers should be kindly treated and kept. This is called using the conquered foe to augment one's own strength. In war, then, let your great object be victory, not lengthy campaigns. Thus it may be known that the leader of armies is the arbiter of the people's fate, the man on whom it depends whether the nation shall be in peace or in peril. Chapter 3: Attack by Stratagem. Sun Tzu said, "In the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good. So too is it better to capture an army entire than to destroy it. To capture a regiment and to detach or a company entire than to destroy them. Hence to fight and conquer in all your battles is not supreme excellence. Supreme excellence consists in breaking the enemy's resistance without fighting. Thus the highest form of generalship is to balk the enemy's plans. The next best is to prevent the junction of the enemy's forces. The next in order is to attack the enemy's army in the field. The worst policy of all its besiege walled cities. The rule is not to besiege walled cities. If it can possibly be avoided, the preparation of mantles, movable shelters, and various implements of war will take up to 3 whole months, and piling up the mountains over against the walls will take 3 months more. The general unable to control his irritation will launch his men to the assault like swarming ants, with the result that 1/3 of his men are slain. While the town still, I'm going to move this mic away from my neck. You can probably just hear me swallowing the mat. That should be a bit better. Remains untaken. Such are disastrous effects of a siege. Therefore, the skillful leader subdues the enemy's troops without any fighting. He captures their cities without laying siege to them. He overthrows their kingdom without lengthy operations in the field. With his forces intact, he will dispute the mastery of empire, and thus, without losing a man, his triumph will be complete. This is the method of attacking by stratagem. It is the rule in war, if our forces are 10 to the enemy's 1, to surround him, if 5 to 1, to attack him, if twice as numerous, to divide our army into 2. If equally matched, we can offer battle. If slightly inferior in numbers, we can avoid the enemy. If quite unequal in every way, we can flee from him. Hence, though an obstinate flight may be made by a small force, in the end it must be captured by the larger force. Now the general is bulwark of the state. If the bulwark is complete at all points, the state will be strong. If the bulwark is defective, the state will be weak. There are 3 ways which a ruler can bring misfortune to his enemy. 1. By commanding the army to advantage or to retreat, by being ignorant of the fact that it cannot obey. This is called hobbling the army. By attempting to govern an army in the same way as the administrators of a kingdom, being ignorant of the conditions which contain an army. This causes relentless in the soldier's minds. By employing the officers in his army without discrimination, though ignorance of the army's principle of adaptation to circumstances, this shakes the confidence of the soldiers. When the army is relentless and distrustful, trouble is sure to come from the other feudal princes. This is simply bringing anarchy to the army and flinging victory away. Thus we may know that there are 5 essentials to victory. 1. He will win who knows when to fight and when not to fight. 2. He will win who knows how to handle both superior and inferior forces. 3. He will win if whose army is animated by the same spirit throughout all of its ranks. 4. He will win who prepared himself, waits to take the enemy unprepared. 5. He will win who has a military capacity that is not interfered by the Southern. Victory lies in knowledge of these 5 points. Hence the saying, if you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not to fear the result of 100 battles. But if you know yourself but not the enemy, for every victory gained you will also suffer a defeat. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Tactical dispositions. Sun Tzu said, I can't read this long, and it's already a 15-minute video. I'm just gonna save it here and put this into a different part. Anyway, that wasn't therapy. Some Jacob's therapy. See you next time.